button. That's the one. Thank you. Technology, it's wonderful when it's working, isn't it? So back to what I was talking about, folks. If we pause the auction because I'm too far away from the owner's instructions, then one of the team will step in. They'll give you that opportunity to continue discussions with our sellers today and see if we can't help you achieve your objective and secure the property, at which time it will come back to me. I'll make any necessary amendments and the property will be then, of course, sold to the highest bidder. But be very clear, folks, there's a lot of activity out there in the marketplace, and if we don't sell the property here today and I formally close the auction, anybody can come forward afterwards with an offer, and that does include conditional buyers. I know we've got some of those on some of the properties. I will alert you to which properties I'm aware of that conditional interest, but we'll give you the cash buyers the first opportunity to secure the properties here today. Just making sure that you are aware that anybody can come forward afterwards. It's not exclusive to you guys. So to the documentation I take you now. Firstly, you bid on the basis we've provided you with the property sale and purchase agreements guide put out by the Real Estate Authority. Of course, they are available in the stand just outside of the auction room as well. In that stand also is the finalised copies of the contract of sale draft you see on the left-hand side of the screen there. Be widely circulated for your research and your due diligence today, folks. And of course, your bidding today tells me that you've read, understood and accept that contract that we worked to here today. I remind you that you bid on a cash unconditional basis and you are deemed to have accepted the vendor's title with no rights of any requisition. However, I will take the liberty of going back to the front page of the contract and highlight some pertinent points just regarding the conduct of today's auctions. Obviously, the owners have set reserve price subject to that price being reached or exceeded. Then the highest bidder on the fall of the hammer will be declared as the purchaser. And of course, two simple obligations of you today, folks. The first one is obviously to sign the contract, and the second one is to pay your deposit. Obviously, if you are bidding by phone and through the online system, then you have authorised me to sign the contract on your behalf. In terms of the way we go about things today, folks, if there's any disputed bidding, I'll simply re-offer the property at the last undisputed bid. If you do endeavour to submit a bid that is too far away from my instructions, then I am authorised to refuse that bid, but I'll certainly guide you from there on where you need to be to help you secure the property as well. Now, if I've only got one person participating in the property, folks, I'll simply use what we call vendor bids to work with you to get you to what I call the negotiating platform, at which time we will pause the auction and one of the negotiators will assist you from there. Nothing to be afraid of as far as vendor bids are concerned. I will only be using them well and truly away from the vendor's reserve price. I will disclose them all to you, and again, as I say, I will only be using them to work with you to get you to that negotiating platform. So at this point in time, folks, I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have before we press on to our first property of the afternoon. No questions? Excellent. So on we go then. 43 Lemon Grove Avenue is the first property up this afternoon. Owen Phelps from our Gate Power office. You only listed this property last week there, Owen, and had some good activity. Lots of people through the property. This property is under contract, folks. So just contrary to what I've just gone through with you, 2 points. There will be no vendor bidding on this one, and I will not be refusing any bids. I'm going to share with you some pearls of wisdom as to perhaps why you should buy this property, and then I'm going to disclose to you the level of the contract that is on the property and invite any bids over that level to give everybody equal opportunity to secure the property. So we start today with a 1970s classic. You've got that split level 3-bedroom home, but it really is all about prime location, and that's probably why this property has been in the same family for the last 45 years. When we look at the legal aspects of it, it is described as an estate in fee simple. 733 square metres of freehold land is what's available here, all as described in Record of Title SA 1723 folio 43. Settlement date has been set down for the 24th of July. Of course, that's this year or such other date is mutually agreed between both parties. And Owen, the channels list, no changes. Probably haven't had time to make any amendments to them as well. So back to the property itself, folks. You've got that elevated lounge with the nice big windows certainly forming a framework of some wonderful harbour views and drawing in tons of light and warmth from the sun throughout the day as well. You've got so much potential in this property, folks. I believe even Andre Bocelli would see it if he was here. Homes of this vintage, they've simply got great bones. They form a fantastic base for some wonderful transformations and I know the people that have got the contract on it at the moment, they are experts at making those transformations, so it's going to be something very special if they are the successful bidders. So like I said, star singer lets their music set them free, folks. Your bidding is what wins this property here today. In your hands now, invite any bids over $855,000 for the property at number 43 Lemon Grove Avenue. Anything over $855,000 earns you the opportunity to bid for the keys and take possession of it on the 24th of July. Perhaps a single, I don't mind, it's entirely up to you, but probably worthy of a $5,000 rise if you wish. I'll call you 3 times. If I don't get any further bids on the floor, the property is sold. First call now for anything over $855,000. Second time now. Your third, final opportunity to join us. No bids. Owen, being no bids on the floor today, I now declare the property sold at $855,000. Happy people at the back of the room. Celebrations probably about to commence. Alright, moving on to our second one for the afternoon, folks. Property at 11/5 West End Road. Of course, this property is down in Ohope and been marketed by Sarah Brown from our Cherrywood office here. Having been a holiday home since new and remaining so for over 10 years, the time has arrived to pass the baton of ownership of this wonderful opportunity down there in the great metropolis of Ohope. We look at the legal aspects of the property, folks. Record of title 8138989 describes the property as an estate in fee simple, and of course it describes the property rather as a stratum and freehold. And I know there was some documentation originally circulated out there stating it was a stratum and leasehold. It is definitely not. It is a stratum and freehold. A quick reminder of clause 21 in the contract: purchaser acknowledges and accepts that there is no key for the living room sliding door, and notwithstanding the provisions of clause 5.4, that you are purchasing the property on that basis of not having a key for that sliding door. We do have authorised telephone bidding in place for this one as well, folks. And Sarah, any changes to the channels list that you've had circulated? And 20 working days from today's date is the settlement date by mutual agreement between the parties. So back to the property itself there, folks. We've got the open plan lounge, kitchen, dining area that leads you to the patio to be able to sit back, relax and enjoy watching the world just passing by. Of course, if you don't like the sandy shores of the Pacific between your toes, then you can plunge into that wonderful complex pool there. Of course, socialising around the communal barbecue area is an added benefit to this property here. It's got the gymnasium if you're that way inclined, or if you prefer to just retreat rather than exercising, then you've got the library as well. A brilliant lock and leave situation here, folks. In fact, it would be a wonderful syndicate property there to enjoy, where a number of people can enjoy it. You can put it in the letting pool and get some return off your investment as well. But this one's never been in the letting pool in the time of ownership at this stage. And of course, you've got the local dairy and the restaurants all just a short walk away as well. Just to make sure that you are fully aware, folks, just disclosure in accordance with the Real Estate Agents Act is making sure that you are aware that Sarah is related to the owner, but we're real estate people, we're humans like everybody else. We can buy and sell real estate. In your hands, buyers, where would you like to start me away now for number 11/5 West End Road down in Ohope? Your chances here, could I suggest maybe a $500,000 start?
485 grand.
$485,000, okay, I'll take it. I'm here to take the money, not turn it away here at $485,000. Somebody round me to 5 if you will. At $485,000, opening bid on the phone now at 485. Somebody take me to 500, round me up. First call now. Second time. Third. Last time, yes. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your bid there at $500,000 there. At $500,000, we'll travel in $20,000 rises from here. Karen, what's your buyer saying now? At 500 even. At 500 even, we go. It takes me to 20 now. The opportunity is here. First call now for an advance to $520,000. Is he back in?
14 grand.
No, I'm taking 20s at this juncture, Karen. I'm happy to go there on behalf of the seller at this point in time. Too far away from my instructions, but happy to take a 20.
Happy to take a 20 from you.
First call now at $500,000, looking for a $20,000 rise. Second time now. Are they back in again, Karen?
Bid at 510. He's looking for 520. He's too far away from.
Third, final opportunity. Is he in?
Are you in?
Happy to advance it then on behalf of the seller then at 520. Take me to 540 if you will there, sir. $520,000. Vendor bid at this point in time at 520. At 520, too far away from the property's value of my instructions at this point in time at 520. Do I have 40 from you there at the back there, sir? What about your buyer? Are they coming back in again, Karen, on the phone? At $520,000, are we back in again there, sir?
5 grand.
Pardon?
525.
No, definitely not, Karen. I'm still taking 20s at this juncture. Treat the property with the greatest respect. $520,000. Take me to 540 if you will there, sir. First call now, $520,000. 530. Oh, goodness me. Okay. All right. 530. I'll take the 10s now, Karen. Still not taking the 5s at this point in time. At $530,000 at the back there now at 530. I'll take the 10s then. First call now at $530,000. Away from my instructions at this point in time. Second call at 530. Is he back in again? Third, final opportunity. Happy to advance on behalf of the seller then, sir. It's back with me again at 540. At $540,000 on a vendor bid. I'm away from my instructions at this point in time at 540. Take another 10 from you, pause the auction, give me the opportunity to continue discussions at that level, sir. 540. With me on behalf of the seller. Happy to 550 if you will. Give me that opportunity here.
Why is he looking for 550? He's best.
The opportunity to take you to $550,000. Give you that opportunity to continue working with our sellers. 550 it is. 550,000. 550 it is at the back of the room there, sir. Confirm your bid. Thank you at 550. At 550, I'll take another bid from your buyer on the phone there, Karen. I'm not submitting any further vendor bids. Happy to give the highest bidder the opportunity to continue discussions with our seller at this point in time. At the moment, it's the gentleman at the back of the room. 500 and pardon?
There's quite a delay.
It's quite a delay. Okay. You want me to slow it down?
That's good enough. I picked it up.
The delay is probably the live stream. I wouldn't think it would be through the voices.
550.
At $550,000, I'm fairly bid at the back of the room there, and if I don't get any advance from your buyer or anybody else in the room after 3 calls, I'm going to pause the auction and give the gentleman at the back the first opportunity to discuss with our sellers.
Okay, all right.
First call now at $550,000 is he in. Second time now at 550. Third, final opportunity. Sir, the bid's with you at $550,000. Karen, can you see if you can assist the gentleman, please?
Warren, I need to go and talk to the highest bidder.
This one here, thank you. You want to hold his hand? Hey? He's looking lonely, isn't he?
He'll take.
He's in self-isolation.
Fine.
Right, 439 Fraser Street is the next one up for the afternoon, folks. Jeff and Sarah Garner from our Bethlehem office have been presenting this property to the market. If you're looking for a solid home and a solid investment, then you've certainly found it here at 439 Fraser Street. A real sound 1959 construction here. It is what's commonly described as an estate in fee simple. 809 square metres more or less is your land holding, all as described in unique, record of title rather, SA1C folio 400. Jeff, Sarah, any changes to the chattels list that you've had circulated?
No, yes, circulated.
No changes there. 30 working days still our settlement date, but a flexibility around that as well. So you've got the nice characteristic wooden features of this property, folks, that you will have witnessed when you viewed the property. You've got that window seat at the end of the top end of the screen there to have a nice snooze in the sun. You've got those beautiful French doors as well. A nice big site there, as I said, 809 square metres, so a good sized site for family fun. You've got the schools and shops and everything all nice and handy to this property here. All I suggest to you buyers is real estate cannot be lost or stolen. It makes a sound investment for your future. In your hands, I would suggest a $500,000 start would be a fair and reasonable one for this one. Do I have 500? 500 to get me underway? Would have thought, Jeff, I'd see a Mexican wave at that sort of level.
You'd have thought so, wouldn't you, really?
Yeah, I would have thought so. You'll look as though you're internalising a very complicated situation, folks. All you need to do is say yes. I've given you a guide. All right, I'll start you away then at $500,000 with a vendor bid. I know we've had some late interest in the property. I'll give you the opportunity here. I'll take $10,000 rises if that makes you feel a little bit more comfortable. At $500,000, I've started with a vendor bid just to give you that opportunity here today. Take me to 510 if you will. Here's your chance now. First call now at 500. Second call, are you in or out? Here's your chance. Third, final opportunity. Are we bidding? Thank you, sir. I feel like a bit more like a dentist at the moment, a bit like pulling teeth, but welcome aboard there, sir. Enjoy the journey at 510. At 510, the bid over here with my buyers on the right-hand side of the room here. No registered telephone bidders on this one. It's entirely up to you here in the room here, folks. First call now at $510,000. Are we in or out? Second time now at 510. Think about the slice of paradise and creating there. Third, last opportunity for you to join us. Sir, happy to work alongside you then. Vendor bid at 520. At $520,000, 30 would be your turn. At 520, it's with me on behalf of our seller. I'm away from my instructions at this point in time. At 520. Do I have 30 from you there, sir? Let's just do it a little bit quicker than last time. At $520,000, are you in? First call now at 520. Second call. Just in case your discussions are going on about offering 5, I won't take it. I'm staying in 10s at this juncture. No, not taking 10s at 5s at this point in time. 520, taking 530. Thank you. $530,000. It's over here with my starter at 530. At $530,000. Some people over here having a little bit of a chuckle. I'm glad it's entertaining you. At $530,000, still taking 10s at this juncture. First call now at 530. Second time. Third, last opportunity. Going to go once more on behalf of the owners then, sir. I have no option but to do so. I'm way too far away from my instructions. Bids with me, vendor bid at $540,000. Won't be submitting any further bids. Take me to 550, pause, give you that opportunity to continue the discussions from there. At $540,000, are you in or out? Need to be quick. The opportunity is here. Won't be submitting any further vendor bids, but I'm away from my instructions at this point in time. At $540,000, are you in, sir? Give them the right advice, Jeff. First call now at 540. Second time, 50. 550. I am obliged to go once more around the room just in case we've got some people sitting on their hands. At $550,000, folks, if I don't get any further bids, we'll pause, continue discussions with those folks at 550. First call now, 550. We're going to slice off Fraser Street. Second time, think about the proximity to the parks and the shops. Third, final opportunity, are you in or out? Craig bids with the gentleman over there at 550. Can you see if you can assist him, please?
Yep.
Thank you.
You just take a seat and I'll get one for you.
Right, moving on to our third property for our 1 o'clock session, folks. Number 4, the property at number 4, Albatross Lane, marketed by Chris Royal from our Cherrywood office. Now, this is a brand spanking new property, folks, and you've got the added bonus here of the window treatments, and the garage has all been carpeted. So that just really does give you a clear indication of the finesse and the quality that's gone into this property that's been constructed by reputable classic builders. Not often do we get brand new properties, Chris, that have got the window treatments and that sort of thing all in there. It's all just really highly spec'd as well. The property offers you 365 square metres more or less, plus an eighth of undivided share of an eighth of 501 square metres. All that is wrapped up as an estate and fee simple. 889280 is the record of title that describes the legal aspects of the property. And the 19th of June, Chris, is still our settlement date.
That's right.
Bit of flexibility around that as well, so not long to wait. And Channels list, no changes, no additions, deletions.
Looks good to me.
So all is circulated there, folks. The property itself, beautifully orientated on the site to capture the sun. That really does add to what's already a lovely warm ambience in the home as well. You've got the great kitchen to show off your gourmet masterpieces that you probably created while you were in lockdown. You've got that lush lawn in place there to enhance your landscape if you want, and just add your own touches as well. All I can suggest to you buyers is memorable moments aboard here today. They're not given. Where would you start me away for number 4, Albatross Lane? I would suggest 550 would be fair and reasonable indeed. Brand new home. Thank you, man. Welcome aboard there. You've been to bidding school, haven't you? $550,000. We're underway now at 550. At $550,000, taking $20,000 rises from here. Who takes me to 570? Let's go at the back of the room there now. I'm preferring to work with the ladies today. You guys are doing it well. At $570,000, 90 should we say there, ma'am? At 590 straight away. Through the threshold, 610 do we go. At $590,000, 610 it is now. At 610, 30's got your name written all over it. No, I'll take 10, eh? Okay then. Whoa, I wish my wife would listen to me like that. At $620,000. At $620,000, treat you the same there, ma'am, if you wish now. It's at 30 now. At 630 at the back of the room there, your turn at 40 we go. No, still taking the 10s at this point in time. You absolutely sure? You'd be well advised to do it. 35, okay, then I'll play your game and open it up for you as well. At 640, should we go? You're welcome to stay in 10s if you wish though. At $635,000, it's down here at 635. At 635, do we say 40 for you at the back of the room there? Your opportunity is here. At 40 we go. At 640, you started the vibes, man. Fine print says you started. You got to keep it rolling. At 640, it's at the back of the room there at 640, 45. You will know when I'm about to sell the property, because it's going to come up and flash now selling. I'll make it very clear, but I'm not there yet, man. At 640, another 5? Yeah. 45 it is. Another 5 do we go there, man? At 645 down in front here. At $645,000. 50? 650 it is. At $650,000, take a good look at the screen now, man, because you're going to see the now selling sign coming up. You asked the question, and I'm now telling you I'm about to sell the property here at $650,000. At the moment, it's with the lady on the back wall there now, it's not you. At 651, no problems at all. I'm here to take everything you offer me. At 651, you can go 52. 3. 55, loving your work there. Don't be put off by it, don't be encouraged by it. At 655, still take the single from you if it's going to help you. At 655, think about it. The keys are there. They're not in your hands at this point in time. They're at the back of the room. At $655,000, have I got your absolute best there, ma'am? Another single, shall I say? Single it is at 656. Straight to 660, is it, ma'am? Yeah, great music. 600?
Another one.
Another one, 57. At 657. 58. 59. 658 it is down here. Property well bought, well fought, property well bought. 59 it is. 660, 660, she's got it. At 660. At 660. Thought it was coming in a bit quicker at 660. Are you back in again, ma'am? I'm about to sell it at 660, 61. You had it for a brief moment there, ma'am, at 661. It's only $1,000. If she goes again, you haven't spent a cent, but you might just buy the property for just $1 more thousand. Are you absolutely 100% sure? At $661,000, I sell. Can't take any late bids. Are you absolutely 100% sure? First call now at $661,000. You can change your mind. You've only got 2 calls left though. Second call now. Is that Mum? Is that Mum? Looking over the left shoulder there. Third, final opportunity at $661,000. Out it goes. It goes. Sold at the back of the room at $661,000. My congratulations. Commiserations, ma'am. Haven't talked to Chris. He might be able to find you something later.
Oh, I've got it here. I picked it up.
All right, back we go, folks. 11 bar 5 West End Road in Ohope. The opportunity is here. I have an invented bid now at $560,000. Can you just confirm that for me, please, sir? At $560,000, my instructions from the owners. We sell to the highest bidder here today. On the market it goes then at $560,000. Selling away now. What about your phone bidder there, Karen? Your opportunity is right here, right now. I'll call it 3 times. Same for you here on the floor here today, folks. First call now at $560,000. Out it goes. I sell away today at $560,000. Second call now at $560,000. Are we in or out? Have I got his absolute best? Third, final opportunity. Out it goes. It goes. Sold you at the back of the room there, sir. $560,000. Congratulations to our sellers. We'll be back to you in a few moments with the result on Fraser Street, folks.
Which one are you after today?
I was interested in
afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you that have just joined us for our 1:30 session, my name's Grant Child. My privilege to be the auctioneer here for you here today. I've also got Robin here looking after all the technology in the auction room. I've also got Gordon, Craig and Karen on hand here today, just in case we get into a situation like we have done with our 1 o'clock session, where we've got one of the properties that's still being negotiated at this time, but we know everybody's busy, people like we are here at Eves, and of course we'll press on and present to you our 1:30 session here today. Of course, all the documentation around, folks, it has been widely circulated for your research and your due diligence. You do bid on the basis that we've provided you the guide put out by the Real Estate Authority. They are available in the stand, and alongside those are the finalised copies of the contract of sale that we worked to today, and a sample is that on the left hand side of the screen. Certainly by way of your bidding today, folks, I'm going to assume that you've read, understood and accept that contract that we worked to today, but I will take the liberty of going back to the front page and just confirming the conduct of today's auction. Of course, I also remind you, you bid on a cash, unconditional basis here today. You are deemed to have accepted the vendor's title without any rights to requisition. Now, the owners, of course, being an auction, they have set reserve prices subject to that being reached or exceeded. Then the highest bidder on the fall of the hammer, you will be declared as the purchaser, and at that juncture, folks, you are required to do two simple tasks. One is to sign the contract, and the second is to pay your deposit. We only ask for 10% of the purchase price here today, folks. The balance is then, of course, payable on settlement date. Now, in the very unlikely event of any disputed bidding, I'll simply re-offer the property at the last undisputed bid. If I'm too far away from my owner's instructions and I've only got one person that's bidding on the property, folks, I'll assist you to get you to the negotiating platform by what we call vendor bids. I'll disclose all vendor bids to you. There's nothing to be afraid of as far as vendor bids are concerned, and I will only use it to get you to that negotiating platform where we will pause the auction. I'll be well away from the owner's reserve price at that juncture, so we'll give you that opportunity to continue discussions with the owners at that point in time. If you don't reach agreement, folks, be very clear. If it comes back to me and I close the auction, anybody can come forward with an offer, and that does include some of the conditional buyers that are very busy out there in the marketplace as well. If you do endeavour to submit a bid that's too far away from my instructions, folks, I'm also authorised to refuse that bid, but I'll guide you from there on where you need to be able to assist you. So at this juncture, folks, I'll just also remind you, if you haven't already signed the contact tracing register at the back of the room, can you please make sure that you do so? Feel free to make use of any of the sanitising stations around the office, and of course, good to see you maintaining your social distancing as well. So without further ado, if there's any questions, I'll answer them for you now, or certainly endeavour to, otherwise we move straight on to the property at number 107 Greerton Road. 107 Greerton Road, there it is, you see it on the screen there, folks, marketed by Owen Phelps from our Gate Power office, aren't you, Owen? You're a very busy man out there as well. And certainly this is one of those properties, folks, that's attracted a lot of attention to from the market. I just need to make sure that you are aware, folks, if you don't buy the property here today, whilst the auction is live, you will be in competition in a multiple offer if you wait until afterwards, because we already have a buyer with an offer ready to go to sign and present to our offer to our vendors should the property not be sold in the next few moments here at the auction. So 107 Greerton Road, Owen, this has been a wonderful opportunity here for golfers, hot pool lovers, horse racing punters, shopaholics. They'll all love the handy location to this particular property here. When we look at the legal aspects, folks, 503 square metres more or less is your land holding, and that's comprised and described in record of title 803771 that also confirms it is an estate in fee simple. We did have some documentation circulated, Owen, stating that the settlement date was the 6th of July. That's been pushed out to the 13th of July, so make sure you are aware that you are bidding on the basis of a 13 July settlement, folks. And any changes to the channels list at all there, Owen?
No changes, but the very intimate little spa pool is negotiable.
Okay, so the spa pool is not included at this point in time, but they can have a discussion with the owner about that afterwards. So there you go, folks. A very clever transformation has been completed on this property here, creating a perfectly integrated mix of yesteryear with today's modern requirements and facilities. The property's been rewired, it's been replumbed, it's been insulated, so a bit of peace of mind there with all that work having been done on the property. And of course, moving outside there, that lovely patio for you to sit back, relax and enjoy. You can just about visualise yourself sitting there with the barbecue sizzling away and chatting with friends there. A wonderful environment indeed, and all connecting nice and effortlessly, as you see there on the screen, through the French doors from the home as well. You've got that stucco construction for peace of mind, along with the concrete tile roof, and excellent off-street parking for the property, folks. Again, I remind you, we do have that conditional offer ready to go. So cash buyers, you get first opportunity. Where would you like to say go on this one?
500.
500? Okay, no problems at all. A little bit optimistic there, but that's okay. We're here to help you along. At $500,000 at that junction, we'll take $20,000 rises from here. At $500,000 on the floor here now with our cash buy at 500. Who goes 20 on top here? First call now at 500. Second time, think about what I've talked about with the property here. A great opportunity here for a stucco home. Third, last opportunity. Are we in or out here today, buyers? I haven't got any registered telephone bidders on this one. So, with me on behalf of the seller then, ma'am, at 52040, your turn. At $520,000 with me, vendor bid, and we're well away from my instructions at this point in time. At $520,000, take me to 40 if you will. Need to go there quickly now, 540 it is. At $540,000 over here with my starter now, at 540. Long way to go yet, folks, to hit the property's value. 540, 20 more now. First call for it now. Let's go there quickly. Second time at 540. Third, last opportunity for you to join us if you're holding back. Happy to obliged to go on behalf of the seller then, ma'am. It's at 560 with me. At 560, 580 shall we say there? At 560, be very clear, 580 we go now. At 580 it is. At $580,000 with my starter bidder down here at 580. At 580 it is. Where do we go from here, buyers? 20 more is all we need to pop it on top. Put yourself back in front here, no prizes for second. First call now for an advance of $20,000 on this great opportunity at 107 Greaton Road. Second time now. Are you in or out? Third, last opportunity for a slice of paradise in Greaton Road. Obliged to go once more on behalf of the seller then, ma'am. It's at 600 with me. Take me to 620. We'll pause, give you the opportunity to continue discussions with our owners at that level. At $600,000, it's even here. Vendor bid. Give her the right advice there, Terry. Taking 20s at this point in time. 620. Won't be doing any further vendor bidding, ma'am. 11. Entirely up to you to continue discussions at that point in time. What about a 10? Will that help you? At $600,000 even, vendor bid. Take me to 610. 10, 610 it is. At $610,000 with my starter. I'm obliged to go around the floor once more, just in case we've got people sitting on their hands. Your opportunity is to come in now, folks, otherwise we pause and talk over here. At 610, first call now, take a $10,000 rise to help you then. Second time at 610. Third, final opportunity for you to join us. Karen bids over there with the lady at $610,000. Can you see if you can assist her, please?
Yeah.
Right, moving on folks, 265A Waitaha Road is the next one in our 1:30 session, again marketed by Chris Royal from our Cherrywood office. You've just seen Chris come up and give me some information here at the podium. We did have a buyer that was keen to do something in the auction. I'm not quite in that position now, and I can tell you now folks that I'm going to present the property to you. If I don't get anybody from the floor, then you will be going into a three-way multiple offer after the auction should you not purchase it here today. So I'll give you the cash buyers the first opportunity to purchase this property, 265A Waitaha Road. You've got privacy, you've got the trees surrounding you, you've got fully fenced, and just a great opportunity there where the little feet and the pets are all nice and safe around the home indeed. SA 64A folio 627 is the record of title number that confirms the property offers you 463 square metres of land, more or less, being in a statement fee simple. 19th of June, Chris, still the settlement date, bit of flexibility around that as well. And channels list, any additions, deletions to what you had in the contract today?
That seems to be
No changes there. So absolutely superb presentation of this property, folks. It's fully insulated, including the walls. You've got that wonderful log fire there and the heat pump to keep you nice and cosy in the cold snap that is allegedly on its way up the country to join us. But you're just going to have to wait until the 19th of June to take advantage of it all. You've got that beautiful king-size kitchen there, folks. If you don't like cooking there, I'm pretty sure that this kitchen will absolutely change that in your lifestyle. A real good all-rounder there that offers a heck of a lot of house for a very modest budget. And you will become the legend of your friends when they come and visit you for your housewarming party in this property, folks. I put it to the floor now for cash interest. Like I said, if you don't buy it here today, then you're going to be in one of those horrible three-way multiple offers. Terrible place to be. Cash, put it on the floor now and we'll see if we can help you buy the property. First call now for a start. You set the benchmark. You start me away. I'm not going to help you with this one. Quite happy to just let it go and we'll keep working with our multiple offers afterwards. Second call for cash interest today. Third, final opportunity. Obviously no cash here today, Chris, so all conditional buyers. Close the auction, hand it back to you. I look forward to getting a text message for you later on today letting you know that the property is under contract.
I appreciate it.
Right, the last one for our 1:30 session, folks. If you don't buy this one, you're going to have to come back at 2 o'clock where we've got another 3 properties, and then 2:30, another 3, and another 3 at 3 o'clock. So plenty on offer here, but this one here, certainly a special one indeed, marketed by Kelly Exelby from our Cherrywood office. You've got, I think your caption has been big and bold in Bethlehem, and I think it's very appropriate to with this one too, Kelly. I think, what does something like about 245 square metres of home, more or less. So a great property indeed. Certainly one of those properties that showcases quality, style, comfort and practicality in this home here. It is an estate fee simple. 600 square metres of land is what you secure here today. 200254 is the record of title number that confirms all those legal aspects. 20 working days, Kelly, still our settlement date. Yep. Bit of flexibility around that as usual. And channels list, any additions, deletions?
No, it looks pretty good.
No, all good. So like I said, folks, approximately 245 square metres of home here, crafted to high specifications indeed. You've got the large contemporary family home with freedom to work from home if so required. I know there's a lot of people who sort of experience that through lockdown and finding that it's not bad at all, and now looking for properties where they can work from home with a little bit more flexibility. This one definitely offers that indeed. You've got the fantastic outdoor living options on the northern side of the home here, and excellent use of that approximately 600 square metre land mass as well. Think about time sitting out there on the deck and enjoying that with the kids, enjoying the land space indeed. You've got the solid construction for peace of mind. The keys you bid for today, folks, are simply your keys for happiness. I'd be happy to take a start anywhere in the 8s for a property like this, of this calibre, and particularly in this location. Anywhere in the 8s would start me away. In fact, an opening bid in the 8s would get me excited.
Me too.
Yeah, Kelly too. Alright, first call to get us going there, folks, anywhere in the 8s. Just here to deal with the cash buyers. Second time. Third, last opportunity for you to join us, folks, if you're in that position of cash. Obviously none here today, Kelly. I'll close the auction, hand it back to you. A little bit of work to do yet, my friend, but a great property indeed, and you'll have that sold in no time, I'm sure. $150,000. Buyers have amended their bid to $560,000. Our owners have said no at this point in time. Those buyers have gone away to continue some discussions on where their strategy will be from here. And in the meantime, we've also had inquiry from one of our online viewers who has inquired about making an offer after the auction. So I put it back to the floor here, folks, at $560,000. My instructions are clear. Property is not for sale at this point in time, but pretty confident we'll have some action afterwards. If you are here in that position of cash, you need to disclose it right here, right now. Otherwise, I formally close the auction. First call for any advance on $560,000. Second time now for you to join us, take the lead and take control. Third, last opportunity. Jeff, Sarah, I'm closing the auction, hand it back to you, and you'll have a little bit of work to do later on this afternoon and this evening, and I look forward to getting a message from you as well. We'll be back in about 9 minutes, folks, for another 3 properties. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Warm welcome to the Eve's auction room here for our, where are we at now? 2 o'clock. Our 2 o'clock session. We've been going since 1 o'clock. And of course, a warm welcome to our viewers that are viewing via live stream as well. My name is Grant Child. My privilege to present these properties to you here this afternoon and give you every opportunity to secure your new home. I've got Robin looking after all the technology here. I've also got Gordon, Craig and Karen. You've seen a bit of activity as you've been waiting from the activity continuing from our 1:30 session where we didn't quite get to where the owner's instructions were. We paused the auction and Karen continued giving the buyer the opportunity to purchase the property, and we'll finish that off in a few moments. So that's what the team are here for. Obviously, if we get to that stage and I'm too far away from my owner's reserve price, I'll pause the auction, give you that chance to keep discussing and see if we can help you secure the property here today. And that is simply because cash-wise, you get the first opportunity here this afternoon. Otherwise, we open it up immediately after the auction for anybody else coming forward. That does include, obviously, the conditional buyers. Let's turn our attention, though, to the documentation that's been provided to you throughout the marketing period by our marketing consultants. You bid today on the basis we've provided you with the Property Sale and Purchase Agreements Guide. Obviously, that's that booklet put out by the Real Estate Authority. Finalised copies of the contracts and that booklet are also available in the stand just as you walk into the auction room. That's the draft that you've had circulated out there, folks. Like I said, the finalised copies are out there in the stand. If there's been any additions, deletions or amendments to that contract, I will alert you to that, but otherwise you are bidding on that cash unconditional basis here today, and of course you are deemed to have accepted the vendor's title as well. Let's turn our attention though back to the front page and highlight some pertinent points regarding the conduct of this afternoon's auctions. Obviously, being an auction, the owner has set reserve prices, and subject to those being reached or exceeded, then the highest bidder, you'll be declared as the purchaser upon the fall of the hammer, and your only requirements today before you start your celebrations is to firstly sign the contract and secondly pay your deposit. Just 10% is all we need today, folks, and we've got online facilities for you to do that. The balance is of course then payable on settlement date. Now, in the very unlikely event of any disputed bidding, I'll simply re-offer the property at the last undisputed bid. If you do endeavour to submit a bid that is not in the best interest of our sellers, folks, I'm authorised to refuse that bid, but I'll guide you from there on where you need to be to help you buy the property here today. If I've only got one person that's participating in the auction, then I'll assist you to get you to that negotiating platform by what we call vendor bids. Now, there's nothing to be afraid of as far as vendor bids are concerned, folks. I will disclose all vendor bids to you. They'll be well away from the owner's instructions, and I will only be using it to get you to that negotiating platform where the owners are happy to continue discussions with you at that point in time. So if at any stage you're not sure who's holding the bid, let me know and I'm happy to clarify it for you instantly. So without further ado, folks, before I invite any questions, before we press on, I'll just remind you of the COVID-19 requirements. If you haven't already signed the contact tracing register at the door there, can you please make sure that you sign that and fill your details in. Make use of any of the sanitising stations around the office and the auction room, and of course maintain your social distancing as well. We really appreciate that. So 107 Gretton Road. Questions? Forgot about that. Questions? Any questions? Excellent. Obviously that tells me that everybody's done their homework. So on we go to 107 Gretton Road. We've got back to 107 Gretton Road, sorry. This is the property that we had being negotiated at the 1:30 session. So folks, we have an amended bid now to $620,000. Can you just confirm that bid for me, please, ma'am? At $620,000, the owner's instructions at that point in time, not to sell the property here today, folks, because we do, as I mentioned when we opened the auction, this property has also got another buyer here to submit a conditional offer to the vendors immediately afterwards. So I'll take any advance on $620,000 to give you that opportunity to purchase the property here today. Otherwise, I close the auction at your bid at $620,000, ma'am. Not authorised to sell it at this point in time. First call now for any advance on 620. Second time. Third, last opportunity, folks, for you to join us. Otherwise, I close it, and you will be going into a multiple offer. Auction's closed. Hand it back to you, Owen, up the back there, and ma'am, we invite you to put that offer on paper, and of course we'll see if we can assist you here tonight, or later on today, but you will be in a multiple offer with that other buyer as well. So we wish you all the best in your endeavours though.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, moving to our first one for our 2 o'clock session, folks. 59 Freiburg Street is the property there, marketed by. Gee, you put me off standing up there in your radiant glory there, Jason. I was expecting Owen to be up there front with that other property. So 59 Freiburg Street, being marketed by Jason Hyde Hills from our Cherrywood office, and finding four bedroom homes in this location about as rare as finding a unicorn farm in the Waikato. When you look at the legal aspects of this property, and it's an estate and fee simple, 442 square metres more or less is your land holding. SA 17A folio 337 is the record of title number that describes all the legal aspects of it. And just before I refer to the further terms of sale or an additional clause in the contract, Jason, just confirm for me any additions, deletions to the chattels list, no changes there. The settlement date for this property, folks, will be 20 working days from the date of sale being today's date, or 5 days after the issue of the code compliance certificate for the rear retaining wall, whichever is the latter. And in relation to that retaining wall there, clause 21, purchasers acknowledge that you've been informed that the retaining wall at the rear of the property has been consented but currently has no code compliance certificate. The vendor is in the process of remedying these works and hereby warrants to supply a code compliance certificate prior to settlement date, and that is why that settlement date has that flexibility. So everything's all squeaky clean and tickety-boo there for you folks once you take possession of this property that originates in the 1970s. It's got plenty of space in the home as well, spread over those 2 levels, and provides an array of options for you, whatever they may be. On the high side of Freiburg Street, folks, so elevated as well, and gives you those wonderful views and wonderful outlook as well. You've got the options to work from home. There's an absolute plus that many are in search of after lockdown, as I mentioned a little bit earlier today. And of course, this particular one, I think, Jason, fair to say, with the layout between the 2 levels, you've got those Airbnb options as well for if you want to get that little bit of extra income as well. Cherrywood location, an undisputable location, I would suggest to you buyers. A nice flat walk from the home round to the Cherrywood shops, easy access in and out of the CBD, not too far from the water's edge for an evening stroll, or to complete all your exercise regime on the waterfront there. So one of those properties that ticks a lot of boxes. In your hands, buyers, giving you the opportunity here. Where would you like to start your way? I'm going to suggest a figure on this one. I'm going to leave it entirely up to you. You set the benchmark. Where would you like to start the bidding away? Entirely up to you. If I don't get an opening bid from the floor, folks, I have no registered telephone bidders. I'm simply going to close the auction. Leave Jason to continue working on it. Your opportunity is here. If you've come to buy, now's the time to disclose your interest. $640,000. Welcome aboard there, ma'am. It's $640,000, and we'll take $20,000 rises from here. At $640,000 with our starter down here in the front there. It took a little while to come, but we're on the bike and pedaling now. It's 640. It takes me to 660. Here's your opportunity now, folks. Like I said, no registered telephone bidders on this one here. It's entirely up to you on the floor here. First call for your slice of Freiburg Street here, folks, at $640,000. Won't take any less than a 20. Second time now at 640. Are you in or out? Third, last opportunity for you to join us here. Think about what I've said about the property, particularly the location. Happy to advance on behalf of our sellers then, ma'am, at 660 with me. At $660,000, be very clear. Vendor bid at 660. 80's the next number. I can see it written all over you. At $660,000, take me to 680 if you will. Let's go there a little bit quicker than the start. There we go now at 680. At $680,000 against everybody else on the floor here, folks. At 680. Think about what's on offer here, folks, in Freiburg Street. We don't get many properties in this location, indeed. they normally fly out the door. At $680,000, still taking 20s at this juncture. First call now, take me to 7 if you will. Here's your chance here today, buyers. At $680,000, looking for 20 more. Second time now. Think about the upstairs, think about the spread of the property here. Great options here, particularly if you're looking for something to work from home. Third, last opportunity. Are we in or out now at $680,000? Obliged to go on behalf of the seller again. The amendments with me at 700. At $700,000, take me to 720 if you will there. Happy to take it, give you that opportunity to keep discussing with the seller there. At $700,000 rather, at 700, be clear it's with me. Wait for my instructions at this point in time. Take me to 720. Won't be submitting any further vendor bids. Take me to 720. We'll pause, give you the opportunity to continue discussions at that point in time. At $700,000 even it is. At 700, another 20, shall I say for you there, ma'am? Let's go there quickly now. Yeah? Yeah? Yes? 720, shall I say for you?
705.
10? Meet you halfway? 710? 710?
705.
No, I won't take 5 at this junction, ma'am. Happy to pause and give you that opportunity at 710. 710 is it? First call now at $700,000. Won't take any less than a 10. Probably get shot for even accepting that. Second time now at 700. Give her the right advice there, Judy. Otherwise, I'm going to close the auction. Third, last opportunity. Jason, I'm happy to lift the bidding on behalf of the owner then at $720,000. It's with me now. Vendor bid at 720. At $720,000, ma'am, I'm too far away from my instructions at this point in time. At $720,000. Your opportunity is here. I'm going to call it 3 times, otherwise I'm going to close it off. At first call now at $720,000. Are you back in again? Still won't take you 5 at this juncture. I'm too far away from my instructions. Second call now. Are you in or out? Third, last opportunity. Are you in or out? No? Close the auction. Hand it back to you, Jason. We've got some work to do, my friends. Alright, moving on folks, 1 bar 18 May Street. 1 bar 18 May Street is the next one for you here. We're over at Mount Maunganui now. We're in fact almost in the heart of Mount Maunganui. And this property here folks is a little bit like the marketing consultant Julian Foster. It's an icon of Mount Maunganui. An absolute icon. You are Julian. I mean,
I thought you were going to refer to the age.
all I know about your age, Julian, is that you were born in the 40s somewhere.
Yes.
The roaring 40s, Julian Foster. All right, having seen thousands of sunrises and sunsets, the time has finally come for someone else to benefit from what this home here in downtown Mount Maunganui offers. SA 34B folio 876 describes the property as what's commonly known as a cross-lease fee simple. 20 working days is all you have to wait to take possession of this property, folks. A little bit of flexibility around that in terms of settlement there, Julian. Talk to Julian and she'll accommodate you there. And channels list, any additions, deletions, no changes there. This property here, and I stole this from Julian's marketing, it's got a groovy 1960s vibe. I can just imagine you in the open homes there, Julian, you're driving around there, just absolutely loving everything on. And a cheerful time capsule, Julian also says. I've stolen those words, Julian. I think it's absolutely superb and really fitting for this property here. I bet there's been a party or two gone on here over the years and been very enjoyed. Julian says you probably attended a few of them. You have, yeah, there you go. There we go. So think about the original timber flooring that's on in the property there, folks. A very tidy home and been very well maintained indeed. An amazing crash pad or a holiday home. They don't come much better than something like this, particularly this location here. It's a great investment to land bank, and of course it's so handy to the bustling Mount Maunganui precinct there. You've got Shopaholics, well it's right there. If you like the surf, then it's just a short walk from May Street and you're in the surf. If you don't really like that the pounding waves of the Pacific, then just opposite direction there and you're in Pilot Bay for the nice calm waters. So pretty much everything is on offer here and a wonderful opportunity. And I know you're probably thinking I'm making it sound like an expensive property. Not really. I'd be happy to take a $750,000 start for this one. 750 starts me away for this one for a downtown Mount Maunganui icon. But no, I'm sorry folks, Julian does not come with it. We're keeping her with us. She's been a legend of Eve's Realty for a long time and she's not going anywhere yet. 750 starts me away here folks for number 1-18 May Street, lot number 9 for the day. First call now. Second time for cash interest. Third, final opportunity. Obviously no cash here today. Very surprising, Julie. I'm going to close the auction. I'm going to hand it back to you. But I reckon, knowing the way you do business and have done for over 40 years in real estate, not giving away your age, so just say that. I'm going to give you 7 days.
Okay.
7 days and I reckon you'll have this property under contract.
Thank you.
Well done. Right, the last one for our 2 o'clock session, folks, and that is the property at number 308 Gravatt Road, marketed by Lauren McRae. And this has really been a week, Lauren. I've been stealing your thunder of the way you guys have been marketing property. I think because some of the words that have been used out there are just so appropriate for this one. And Lauren says this one is sunshine saturation, and it has certainly got that aspect. I can't think of a better place to just sit back, relax, and socialise with some family and friends. You've got a choice of 2 living areas there. You see both of them on the right-hand side of the screen there, and certainly it just really does enhance your living spaces absolutely beautifully indeed. It is an estate in fee simple, the best you can buy in New Zealand, 630 square metres more or less, being your land holding, and all as described in Record of Title SA 62A Folio 722. Any additions, deletions to the channels list there? Lauren wouldn't have thought so, not the way you tick all the right boxes. 21 working days from today's date, still the settlement date. And just a quick reminder, folks, that the excluded chattels, the plastic leaf rack on the fence does not stay. And just a reminder that, just disclosure that one of the owners of the property is a licensed salesperson with our company. But as I said, with one of the earlier properties, we are allowed to buy and sell real estate. We have to have somebody to live ourselves, don't we, Lauren? So the warm wooden assets throughout the home there, just you see it on the screen there, absolutely superb. And that just adds to the wonderful ambience of the home. You've got that nice big family room that certainly, it's a really an entertainer's home there. It's just a real inspiration for that sort of type of lifestyle as well. You've got quality trimmings right throughout the home indeed. You've got that wonderful ambience that's warm and inviting, just what we need at this time of the year as well. And you can head east to the Papamoa Town Centre, west to the Bayfair Mall, head north and you can dip your toes in the surf on the beautiful Papamoa Beach. Handy to the reputable Tahatai Coast Primary School as well, so if you've got young families, then it really does tick a lot of boxes for you in this location. 308 Gravatt Road. Now, Lauren, we had a conversation. You had some buyers there that saw the property just yesterday and haven't had time to get their ducks in a line. expressed interest in the property, so strong interest in the property, folks. I put it to you, the cash buyer's here today, otherwise I just close and we continue working with Lawrence buyers that only viewed it yesterday. First call for a start now for 308 Cravat Road. A wonderful, wonderful family home indeed. All the comforts there. Second time now for you to join us, folks. If you're in that position of cash, get ahead of Lawrence buyers that have just viewed the property, and you're in for an absolute lifestyle change. Third, final opportunity. If we have cash on the floor, disclose it now. Auction's closed. Those buyers are going to be delighted to hear from you. Lauren, I'm sure you'll be ringing them from the car on your way back to the office. The property is still available.
Thanks, Grant.
We'll be back to you folks in about 9 minutes for another 3 properties in our 2:30 session. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to those of you that have just joined us here for our 2:30 session this afternoon. My name's Grant Child. It's my pleasure to present these properties to you. And of course, this is not a robot that's up the front here. We're live streaming our auctions, so a warm welcome to our viewers that are viewing via live stream as well. Now, a pretty simple, straightforward process here today, folks. Obviously, we've got these 3 properties to go up for you over the next half hour. So I've got the team on hand. I've got Robin, she's looking after all the technology here. And of course, we've got Gordon, Craig and Karen. They're on hand here today, folks. If your bids don't take me to the owner's reserve price, I'll simply put a pause on the auction and we'll give you the opportunity to continue discussions with our sellers and see if we can help you secure the property. And I can tell you, if you don't secure the property here today, then you will run the risk of entering into what we call multiple offers afterwards, because we've got some good interest on these 3 properties outside of the auction room. So, and I know one person is here that's watching to see what happens, because waiting to put an offer forward afterwards. So these guys will help you out if we get into that situation, but let's turn our attention to the documentation. Obviously, a bid on the basis of the property sale and purchase agreements guide by the Real Estate Authority has been provided to you, and of course we've got them in the stand just outside of the room as well. In that stand is finalised copies of the contract of sale. The draft, as you see there on the screen, has been widely circulated for you buyers to complete your research and your due diligence. And by way of your bidding, then I'm going to assume that you've read, understood and accept that contract. But let's go back to the front page so I can highlight some pertinent points with regard to the conduct of this afternoon's auctions. The owners have set reserve prices subject to that being reached or exceeded. Then the highest bidder on the fall of the hammer, you're then declared as the purchaser, and your simple requirements today are 1, sign the contract, and 2, pay your deposit. We only ask for 10% of the purchase price here this afternoon. Balance is then of course payable on settlement date. So in terms of any disputed bidding, I'll simply re-offer the property at the last undisputed bid if we do get into that situation, but highly unlikely. If we have any registered telephone bidders on the property, I'll alert you to that prior to inviting your bids from the floor here in the auction room. If I've only got one person participating on the auction, folks, then I'll simply assist you to get you to that negotiating platform where I'll pause the auction, and I'll do that by what we call vendor bids. Nothing to be afraid of as far as vendor bids are concerned. I'll disclose them all to you, and I will only use vendor bids well away from the owner's reserve price. So a pretty simple, straightforward process, and just if you haven't already done so, please make sure that you've signed the contact tracing register at the back of the auction room there in accordance with the COVID requirements. Make sure that you make plenty of use of the sanitisation stations around the room and the office as well, and of course maintain your social distancing as well. So without further ado, we'll go to the first property for our 2:30 session, and that is of course the property at number 2, Tranquil Grove. A wonderful, wonderful home indeed that you see there on the screen, marketed by Joel Kearney and John Rose from our Cameron Road office here. Obviously this property is located out in the Umokoroa area, folks, and it was a 2011 home, and it built by reputable classic builders. They constructed this plaster over brick home as a show home for this particular location as well, and has served their purpose extremely well. Now, a show home, folks, that certainly reflects the quality of the lifestyle overhaul that you are in for in this home indeed. 436244 is the record of title that confirms that you get 730 square metres more or less, being an estate and fee simple, the best you can buy in New Zealand. Now, any changes to the channels list that you've had circulated there, guys? No changes there. And 90 days settlement for this one here, so plenty of time. Lots of lotto tickets between there, folks. A great opportunity here for you. Just a quick reminder that the stainless steel divides in the kitchen drawers do not remain. They are excluded channels, and clause 21, your purchasers acknowledge that the hobby studio and the pergola do not have council consent, and a further acknowledgement that the hobby studio is being built within 0.5 metres of the boundary, and the warranties given under clause 9 do not apply with respect to either of those items, and the purchaser's got no claim against the vendor in respect to them now or in the future. So just making sure that you are fully aware of that. But back to the home itself and the lifestyle that it offers you. They've got that separate main living area. You can visualise yourself in that little bit of a chili snack that's on its way up for the, from the south there, and relaxing in that nice lounge in front of the gas fire there. Certainly no issues with warmth in the home, and of course it's also got the added benefit of that heat transfer system as well. Beautifully landscaped gardens, guys, you know, just an absolute picture perfect. In fact, you could probably put those lovely landscape gardens on a postcard. Outstanding outdoor area, as you see there on the screen there, to chill out with privacy with family and friends. Now, Joel, you put in the marketing here, you must be a pretty good golfer. You're saying it's a 9-iron away from the golf course. Well, for me, I'd probably have to get my driver out, but that's probably more a reflection on the way I play golf rather than the proximity of the golf course to this property here. You've got that Aotearoa lifestyle, folks. It's absolutely superb, certainly a growing part of our community. You've got walking and biking trails, and of course the opportunity for you to dip your feet in the ocean as well. Now, Joel, we just had a conversation. We had some buyers that viewed the property on the weekend that haven't quite, they've been working frantically this week to get themselves into a position to be able to buy the property here, but haven't quite been able to get over the line there to bid and buy today, folks. So I put it to the floor here for cash interest. Your opportunity is right here, right now for number 2, Tranquil Grove in Aotearoa. First call now for a start. Quite happy to keep working with these buyers that we've identified over the weekend to see if we can assist them. Not going to set any benchmarks here. Going to leave it entirely over to you folks. Start your way wherever you like. Second call now for a start. You set the benchmark and I'll work with you from there. Third, final opportunity, cash interest only. Obviously no cash interest today, guys. I'm going to close the auction, hand it back to you, and a little bit more work to do. I'm sure those buyers, Joel, are going to be delighted to hear from you when you give them a call in about 5 or 10 minutes time to let them know it's still available. Right, moving on folks, 27 Braeburn Place in Bethlehem is the next one you see there on the screen. Neil McIntosh has been doing a sterling job, as he always does, out there in the marketplace. And this property here, folks, is absolutely located in a like-minded neighbourhood where people simply enjoy the tranquility of a peaceful area. The children play freely and the parents have peace of mind in this particular location. SA 59D folio 666 is the record of title number that describes the property as approximately 720 square metres of land, more or less, being in a state and fee simple. Neil, 20 working days is still our settlement date. It hasn't been any additions.
No, it is vacant, so then go ahead if
It is vacant, so there you go folks, it's vacant, so you can move in and enjoy immediately if you so wish. And the channels list, any amendments to that? No changes, all there. So certainly the opportunity here, folks, for you to unlock the home's full potential with your natural flair and modernisation skills as well. Able to make some changes that will express your own personality and your own values, but nice and comfortable as it is, no issues there. The opportunity to create your own legacy and enjoy the home in the years to come is here. And think about the value that can possibly add to this property and reap the rewards of your benefits as well. Of course, prime location here in this particular street here, Neil, Braeburn Place, a very popular street indeed, and so handy to the Bethlehem town centre. So I'd be happy to take a $700,000 start for this one, folks. Certainly wouldn't take anything less. I'd be facing the firing squad if I took anything less than that, but I'd take a 700 start just to get me underway. Great opportunity here for you folks. And again, like I say, week after week, the auction is just for cash, unconditional buyers to participate and secure the property ahead of any other interest out of the room. First call now for a start now on 27 Braeburn Place. Second call, think about what I've said about the property. Great opportunity here. Third, last opportunity to infuse your own personality on this wonderful location. Obviously no cash today for this one, Neil. We'll close the auction and hand it back to you, leave you to continue with your work on that one, my friend.
Thank you, Graham.
You're welcome. Right, last one for our 2:30 session, folks. 8B Queen Road. Now, Queen Road is a very popular location. And it's an established location. I mean, you've been around this location here for a long time, Gordy, and as have I. You know, 25 years in real estate, and everything we get in Queen Road are always popular properties. But it is very difficult to find a brand new home in Queen Road. But not when you've got Phil Richardson from our Cherrywood office on the job here. He's managed to scratch this one up, and it's just somebody is in for an absolute lifestyle overhaul here with this particular property here. It is an estate in fee simple, 386 square metres more or less is your land holding, and that is all described in record of title 895900. Any changes to the channels listed all there with this one, Phil?
No.
No changes there. Just a quick reminder there, folks, that the building works, the vendor carried out renovations and on the house and is awaiting code compliance certificate for this particular one here. And the settlement date, of course, is the latter of 10 working days following the date of the vendor's solicitor notifies the purchaser's solicitor of the issue of the code compliance certificate, or 10 working days following today's date if you purchase it here at the auction. Quick reminder though, of clause 24, the deposit paid by the purchaser shall be held in the Eves Realty Limited Trust account until the code compliance certificate has been issued. And of course, clause 22, I won't go through that, it's all been available to you, but of a sunset clause there in terms of just relating around that code compliance certificate if it hasn't been issued prior to settlement date. So everything's all covered off there for you folks, everything's all tickety-boo, and certainly cleverly designed this home here to maximise the use of the 386 square metres site, and certainly great flow to the outdoors as you can see there on the screen. Easy care and very easy to live in this property, folks. A great investment opportunity for you as well, particularly given that location and proximity to reputable skills. Busy people, you'll just absolutely love living here with so little maintenance to do, and one of those homes that's absolutely, I don't use the word perfect very often, but I think this one is perfect for those who value their weekends and appreciate convenience of a great location where everything is just a short distance away. So I'd be happy to take a 600 start on this one, Phil. I think that would be fair and reasonable to get me started, get me underway, and I understand you just expressed some interest to me just before the auction, saying you've got somebody that's looking to make an offer straight after the auction. So there we go, in that folder there, an offer ready to present to our vendors, cash buyers. Who says go at 600? I would have thought, Phil, we would have seen an absolute Mexican wave for this property at that sort of level in this location. First call now for a start, 600, certainly won't take anything less. Only starts me away. Second call now, third, last opportunity, in or outs. Phil, I'm going to close the auction, go ahead and present that conditional offer to the vendor, and I'll look forward to hearing from you in about half an hour that you've got the property under contract. No pressure at all. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. We'll be back in about 15 minutes, folks, with another 3 properties to complete the afternoon for you. 4 properties. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to our 3 o'clock session here this afternoon. On behalf of the team at Eves, it's my pleasure to welcome you here today, and of course a very special welcome to our viewers who are watching and viewing via the live stream through our good friends at auctionslive.co.com.au. So a warm welcome to everybody. Of course, my name's Grant Charles. It's my pleasure to present these 4 properties for you over the next half hour. But I don't do it by myself. I've got a great team with me. Firstly, Robin, she looks after all the technology here. And I've also got Gordon, Craig and Karen. They've got a wealth of experience. They're here today, folks. If your bids don't take me to the owner's reserve price, because that's the level that I'm authorised as the auctioneer to put the property to the market and sell to the highest bidder. If we don't quite get there, I'll simply pause the auction and one of the team will step in, give you that opportunity to continue discussions with our sellers here today and see if we can't help you get you on your way with a contract under your arm and start some celebrations in about half an hour or so's time. Now, if we don't reach agreement today, folks, be very clear. If I close the auction, anybody can come forward after the auction and present an offer to our sellers, and that does include conditional buyers. So I just want to make sure that you are fully aware of that. Back to the documentation though, before we go too much further, you do bid on the basis we've provided you the property sale and purchase agreements guide. Of course, the most important document is the one on the left-hand side there, the contract of sale. That's the way it's been distributed in draft form, folks. Finalised copies are available in the stand just outside the door as you came into the auction room, and we also have those guides there available for you as well. So by way of your bidding, folks, I'm going to assume that you've read, understood and accept that contract that we worked to today, but I will take the liberty of going back to the front page and highlighting some pertinent points regarding the conduct of the auctions. Now, I mentioned the owner's reserve price there before. Obviously, auctions, they have a reserve price. Subject to that reserve price being reached or exceeded, then upon the fall of the hammer, the successful purchaser, you're deemed then as the purchaser, and your only requirements today are, of course, sign the contract, and secondly, pay your deposit. Of course, if we do have any telephone bidding, we've got the authorisation to do that, and I'm authorised by the live stream people here to sign the contracts on their behalf. So a pretty simple, straightforward process, folks. If there's any disputed bidding, I'll resolve that by simply re-offering the property at the last undisputed bid. Now, if I've only got one person that's participating in the auction, folks, and I'm away from the owner's instructions, I'll help you get to that negotiating platform by working with you, and I'll do that by use of what we call vendor bids. I'm authorised under clause 2.5. I'm the only one authorised to submit bids on behalf of our sellers here today. I'll just be working with you to get you onto that negotiating platform and see if we can't help you secure the property. I'll disclose all vendor bids to you, and of course they will be well south of my owner's instructions here today. So a pretty simple, straightforward process here this afternoon, folks. And just before we go to the first property of the afternoon, I'll just remind you, if you haven't already done so, please make sure that you sign the contact tracing register at the door there. Please feel free to partake in all the sanitising equipment around the room and the office, and of course maintain your social distancing. That would be much appreciated. Hopefully that's the last time I'm going to have to be able to say that. And hopefully next week we'll be at level 1 and we'll be able to get back to complete normality. So talking about normality, Johnny Rose has been from our Cameron Road office, has been marketing this property that certainly gives you a very impressive lifestyle indeed, and that is the one at 120 Edgecombe Road. So certainly, as you see there on the screen, folks, as you've driven past this home, an impressive home from the outside and a design that promotes family independence on the inside. When we look at the legal aspects of the home, it is an estate in fee simple. 440 square metres more or less is your land holding here, so not too onerous to look after, but just enough space around you as well. 196439 is the record of title that describes the legal aspects of it. And channels list, John, any additions, deletions to the channels list? No changes there. Just confirm for me, 30 working days, still the settlement date?
That's correct.
Yep, so there we go, a bit of flexibility around that. If you need an alternative date, then talk to John and he will see if he can assist you with that. I just also remind you of clause 21 that the purchaser has been provided with a copy of the limb report and a sealing report for the property obtained by the vendors. They've obtained those reports in good faith, provided them to you as the purchaser on the basis that the vendor shall not be liable for any errors, misdescriptions or other defects in the reports provided, and of course also full disclosure that one of the owners of the property is a licensed salesperson, licensed real estate agent under the Real Estate Agents Act. But as I've said, I think I've said it 2 or 3 times today so far, we are authorised to, and we are just humans like everybody else. We are allowed to buy and sell real estate. We do have to have somewhere to live as well. So, right, so back to the property itself there. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. A quality kitchen there and a fluid layout that not only facilitates entertaining folks, it simply encourages it. That's the way this property is laid out there, the way it beautifully connects with the outdoors there for all year round outdoor living, those beautifully manicured grounds. I take the opportunity to commend the vendors on the presentation of this property. Absolutely superb indeed. So relaxing and private here, folks. You would even be, you'd even get away with forgetting to get dressed in the morning when you go out there for your morning coffee. So great facility here, folks. You've got the master bedroom downstairs as well. Teens upstairs, so great separation if you've got the older people in the or the more mature part of the family there. So great separation there. Close the gate on this property, and everything is secure there. If you've got a boat or a caravan, that sort of thing, everything's nice and secure behind the gate there. And of course, it would be remiss of me not to remind you of the easy, gentle stroll from this home here to the 11th Ave sort of shopping precinct, where you've got 11th, 12th Ave, you've got supermarkets, you've got restaurants, you've got everything around you there, folks. All just a gentle stroll away from your new home at 120 Edgecombe Road. John, you had a buyer that was registered for telephone bidding. Have you managed to get hold of him yet? Can't get hold of him yet? Okay. And you're a hell of a nice guy, mate. I wouldn't think he's ignoring you. Okay, so now we also had a conversation. We've got a buyer that's been working furiously with the bank and haven't quite been able to get their approval to be able to bid on that cash basis here today, folks. So I put the property to the floor here today, folks, for cash unconditional interest. Otherwise, I'm simply going to close the auction, and John's going to continue working with our buyers that just haven't quite got that seal of approval from the bank at this point in time for their finance. Of course, we've got to have that finance all in place. We don't want you committing to something that you can't complete and can't proceed with. So, first call for an opening bid now, 120 Edgecombe Road. A great location, folks. Think about what I've said about this property. You are in for a complete lifestyle overhaul at number 120 Edgecombe Road. Second call now. Third and final opportunity for cash interests. John, I'm going to close the auction and hand it back to you, my friend, and leave you to continue working with those buyers. I think they're probably going to breathe a bit of a sigh of relief that the property is still available, but I do look forward to hearing from you in the very near future that you'll have this property under contract. It's a wonderful opportunity indeed in a great location. Right, moving straight on to the second one for our final session for today, folks. The property at number 17, Parkside Views. And this one property has been marketed by Martin Damon and Catherine Anderson. But you've really been left holding the baby here, haven't you, Catherine? You've been a very busy lady, while Martin is actually stranded in the UK. So we hope everything is fine for him. We welcome him back at any stage, but I certainly think that you're probably welcoming him back at any stage there, Catherine. But you've done a great job with this particular property in Martin's absence, and I'm sure he will appreciate everything that you've been doing as well. So 17 Parkside Views, folks, a classic definition of immaculate, and I didn't come up with those words. Catherine had those in the marketing, and it's definitely one of those properties that stands out from the crowd. When we look at the legal aspects of the property, it is an estate in fee simple, just 325 square metres more or less is your land holding here, which certainly frees you up for the wonderful lifestyle that the location of Pavamar accords you as well. well. Record of title 777187 describes all those legal aspects. 20 working days, Catherine, still our settlement date. And any changes to the chattels list that you've had on the contract all around? No additions or deletions there. So back to the property itself there, folks. You'll remember that cleverly designed floor plan that maximises every square centimetre in perfect harmony for family living in this home indeed. Backs on to the Hillsview Reserve, so you don't need a lot of space when you're in a location like this, Catherine, because you've got that reserve there. If you've got kids, they can fly their kites, kick a ball and chuck the frisbee, run the dog. It's all there right behind you. Surrounded by open green spaces, cycleways and timber boardwalks. It's just a wonderful facility indeed. And when you're, of course, at home, it is very relaxing and rewarding indeed. Nice and handy to the main arterial routes for an easy commute to everywhere, whether it be heading south, heading north, heading east, heading west. It's just such an easy commute from here. And of course, you are just minutes away from the beach as well. So in your hands for this one, buyers, where would you like to start me away? 17 Parkside News. Cash buyers. Here we go. Breathe, folks, breathe. You don't have to hold your breath when an auctioneer calls for an opening bid. It has to be a genuine gesture. And in this case, I'm going to leave you to sing out a good bold opening bid. Where might it be? Looking for a start now. Just here to work with the cash buyers today, folks. That's all my role is as an auctioneer, just to work with cash unconditional buyers. Am I looking at a room full of them? That wasn't actually intended as a joke, but I do enjoy the chuckles along the way. First call for a start now on number 17 Parkside News, folks. Second call. Third, last opportunity. Okay, I'm going to close the auction, Catherine. I mean, this is just, I'm thinking about what I've said about this property, folks. You would be forgiven for thinking that this is quite an expensive property, but it's really not. It's absolute value for money for this one there, Catherine. What sort of money and buying power do we need to be able to buy a property like this?
So this is now going to be priced at
$720,000. Think about everything that I've said about this property there, folks. $720,000 is the buy now price on this one. Catherine, I think you need to make sure that you've got plenty of gas in the tank for your car. I think you're going to be a very busy lady with the inquiry once that price gets out there. $720,000 buys that property, folks. Right, it's 141 Armstrong Road is the next property on offer here today, folks, and that's been marketed by Kevin Barnes from our Cameron Road office here, and certainly one of those properties that's located in just a short commute to the CBD, and from the CBD rather, and you are home in Armstrong Road there. Your world will positively be simply turned upside down and inside out with this wonderful offering indeed. Your dreams of a self-sufficient lifestyle, they simply come true when you reside at 141 Armstrong Road. It is an estate in fee simple, 10,000 square metres of land, more or less, is your land holding here. Of course, that equates to 1 hectare. SA 51A, folio 6 is the record of title number that confirms all those legal aspects. And Kevin, any changes to the chattels list that you've had circulated out there? No changes there. 20 working days is still our settlement date. And we do have a consent form, but if you haven't already signed the consent form, folks, if you purchase the property in the next few moments, you'll be bidding today on the basis that you will sign a consent form, just disclosing to you rather that you acknowledge that we have advised you that the toilet in the garage has no permit. It wasn't installed by the current owners. It was a previous owner that did it. It has no permit, but you'll be buying it on that basis as well. You've got a totally transformed 90s abode here. That's going to be your residence where everything sparkles in the sun. That absolutely showers you from dawn until dusk as well. beautifully located, beautifully orientated on that 10,000 square metres. You've got the beautiful Garden of Eden there to keep your fruit bowls full all summer long. You've got nuts, you've exotics, you've got summer fruits, you've even got 14 avocado trees to keep your fruit bowls nice and chock-a-block as well. Additional sheds there, you've got the chiller as well, so that's an added bonus as well. You've got a garage and workshop for Dad. You've got ample off-street parking as well. Your complete lifestyle overhaul is right here at 141 Armstrong Road, folks, not too far from the CBD. Who starts me away for this one? I would suggest, Kevin, a property of this magnitude in this location, what it's got to offer would be worthy of 1.1. 1.1 would be a fair and reasonable place to get us underway there, folks, if you're in that position of cash. I know Kevin has been working with somebody that just haven't quite got there. Your opportunity is here. Cash buyers only, your chance now. First call, 1.1 would be a fair and reasonable start. Second time, third, last chance for cash. Okay, we haven't got anybody for this one, Kevin, so I'm going to close the auction. And I think you should be continuing to converse with those people that just notified you yesterday and just not quite ready yet. So good luck with that one. Right, lucky last one for the day, folks, and that's 24A Pahoja Road. David Bloomhart from our Bethlehem office has been the Sterling marketing consultant for this one here. A property originating in the 70s with so much space the kids can actually, I think, David, they can probably run away from home, they could hide, and they'll still be on the property. So they've got plenty of space around them here. Now, if you want more kids, folks, then absolutely go for your life with this one here, because you've got that 5-bedroom accommodation as well. When we look at the legal aspects of the property, it is an estate and fee simple. 4.8270 hectares is what's on offer here with this particular one there, folks, in SA 53C folio 89. It's the record of title that describes all the legal aspects of it. Any additions, deletions to the chattels list that you've had circulated, David? 60 working days from today's date is the settlement date. So no changes to that as well. I just remind you, folks, you need to be very, very clear. Everything we've offered for you today is residential, has been inclusive of GST. Your bids today is on a plus GST, if any, basis. So plus GST, if any. Can't emphasise that enough. The broken dishwasher handle, just disclosure that the dishwasher has got a broken handle on it as well. Clause 21, purchasers acknowledge receipt of a copy of the Western Bay District Council LIM report dated the 11th of May 2020, and that's been provided by the vendor, and you've been fully informed that the plan for the dwelling varies from the current as-built state, and may not comply with the Building Act or the Building Code. You're just making sure you're aware of that. There may be some works where there's no building permit, building consent, code compliance certificate or final sign-off, and accordingly the vendor warranties do not apply. They are deleted in terms of that work. The swimming pool, there's no warranty and no compliance for the swimming pool, and clause 23 included in the sale without further consideration on an as-is whereas basis is the Ferguson 28 tractor, the rear mount mower and the King Cat ride-on mower. So they stay, but they're in an as-is whereas basis. So back to the property itself we go. You've got that modern renovated kitchen that complements the rest of the freshly redecorated home as well, that integrates nice and smoothly with the outdoors for all that summer fun and outdoor area there sort of around the pool as well. You've got the great escape place for Dad that houses all the tools and and toys that you could wish for. There it is there, folks. So if you're a bit like me and get into trouble in the kitchen, just out there to the shed there, and just muck around until your heart's content. Of course, you've got the 160 avocados made up of a mixture of recent plantings and mature trees as well. Now that means the growth of the income off the land is living proof that money does grow on trees. It does, we know, in this property here at 24A Per Hoya Road. Alright, so you've got that beautiful sheltered setting there, as you see there on the screen, and of course topped off with those wonderful views of the surrounding countryside. Indeed, in your hands, buyers, last one of the day, we would like to start me away from this one. Of course, a little bit like the other one, it would definitely have to be over $1 million to get me excited and get me underway. Certainly wouldn't start anything less than that. Cash buyers, your chances here. First call now to get me underway now for number 24A Per Hoya Road. Second time. Third, last chance for cash interest. Disclose it here now. Going to close the auction and hand it back to you, David. Obviously, we haven't identified the cash buyer here today, so I'll leave you in your pursuit to find the appropriate buyer for this property. So that concludes our offerings today. On behalf of the team at Eves, thank you very much for your attendance, folks. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.